You were in the middle of an argument, maybe with a partner, maybe on the phone, maybe just frustrated out loud at something that went wrong. Your voice was raised. The energy in the room had shifted. And then you looked down, and your dog was yawning. Not sleeping, not tired, just yawning. Wide, slow, deliberate, right in the middle of everything. And you probably thought one of two things. Either your dog was completely indifferent to what was happening around them, or you found it funny enough to break the tension for a moment before going back to whatever was wrong. What you almost certainly did not think was that your dog was communicating, deliberately, specifically, using one of the most sophisticated conflict management signals in the entire canine behavioral vocabulary, because that yawn was not random. It was not tiredness. It was a message directed at you, at the situation, at the energy in the room. And once you understand what your dog was actually doing in that moment, you will never look at a dog yawn the same way again. Stay until the end, because the last thing I am going to tell you about what your dog does during human conflict is the one that will genuinely move you. In human culture, a yawn means one thing almost universally: tiredness, boredom, or the involuntary response to seeing someone else yawn. We apologize for yawning in conversation because we understand it signals disengagement. But in the world of dogs, a yawn is something else entirely. It is one of what Norwegian dog trainer and behaviorist Turid Rugas identified as calming signals, a vocabulary of subtle body language behaviors that dogs use to communicate, de-escalate tension, and manage the emotional temperature of their environment. Dogs use calming signals with other dogs constantly. When two dogs meet and one yawns, they are communicating. I am not a threat. I am not aggressive. Let us keep this calm. It is a peace offering made without words, without confrontation, without any of the physical signals that could be misread as challenge or dominance. And crucially, dogs do not reserve this language for other dogs. They use it with humans too, with you, because you are their social world, and the same tools they would use to navigate tension with another dog, they bring into the human spaces they inhabit. When your dog yawns during an argument, they are not ignoring you. They are not indifferent. They are doing something that in their world is the equivalent of stepping between two people and saying, "Please, let us all just breathe." This does not need to be what it is becoming. Has your dog ever yawned right in the middle of an argument or a tense moment? Comment below. I want to know how your dog responds when the energy in the room changes. Every response teaches us something. Your dog does not wait for shouting to know something is wrong. By the time your voice rises, they have already been tracking the situation for minutes. Dogs read human emotional states through a combination of sensory channels that operate simultaneously and continuously. They read micro-expressions, the tiny, involuntary facial movements that happen faster than conscious thought and that humans often miss in each other entirely. They read body posture, the way shoulders tighten, the way breathing changes, the way movement becomes less fluid and more controlled. They read vocal tone, not the words, but the pitch, the pace, the tension underneath the sound. And they read scent. When your cortisol rises during stress or conflict, your body chemistry changes in ways that are invisible to other humans, but completely legible to your dog. They can smell the shift in your emotional state. They know something is wrong before you have said a single word at a raised volume. This means that by the time an argument is audible in your home, your dog has already been in a state of alert for some time. They have been watching the situation develop. They have been assessing it, and they have already decided what their role in it is going to be. That role, for most bonded dogs, is peacemaker, and the yawn is just one of their tools. The yawn is the most visible calming signal, but it is only one part of a much larger vocabulary your dog uses when the emotional temperature of the room rises. The head turn, your dog slowly turning their face away from the source of tension without moving their body, is a direct de-escalation signal. In dog language it means, I am removing my gaze from this situation. I am not challenging anyone. I am offering peace. When your dog does this during an argument, they are essentially saying, I do not want to be part of this energy, and I am showing you that with my body. The nose lick, a quick, deliberate lick of the nose or lips, is one of the fastest and most frequent calming signals dogs display. It happens so quickly most owners never notice it. But watch your dog's face the next time the room gets tense. That flick of the tongue is not random. It is communication. The curve approach. When your dog wants to come to you during a conflict but approaches in a curved arc rather than a straight line. Direct approaches signal intention and can be read as confrontational. A curved approach says, I am coming in peace. I mean no challenge. Let me just get close to you. And then there is the physical intervention. Your dog walking directly into the space between two people who are arguing, inserting their body as a living, breathing pause button. This is the most direct version of the peacemaker role, and it is one of the most remarkable things a domestic dog can do. They are not trained to do this. They do it because the tension is real to them. The people in it are real to them, and they have decided to try to fix it with the only tools they have. If your dog has ever walked between you and someone else during an argument, hit like right now. That behavior is more remarkable than most people realize, and this video is for every owner who has ever seen it and wondered what it meant. Here's the part of this conversation that most owners never think about, and it is the part that matters most for your dog's well-being. When there is conflict in your home, your dog does not experience it the way a piece of furniture does. They are not neutral. They are not simply waiting for it to end. They are in it, emotionally, physiologically, completely. Research into canine stress responses has found that dogs living in households with frequent conflict show elevated cortisol levels, disrupted sleep patterns, and increased anxiety behaviors. Not because anything was done to them directly, but because the emotional environment they live in is chronically stressed. They absorb the tension of their human family the way a child absorbs the tension of their parents. Not consciously, not by choice, just inevitably, because they are wired to be so attuned to the humans they love. Every calming signal your dog displays during an argument is costing them something. The yawn, the head turn, the physical intervention, these are not effortless. They are your dog working, actively trying to regulate an environment that their nervous system is telling them is unsafe. Trying to fix something they do not have the tools to fix. Trying to bring peace to a situation that is, from their perspective, threatening the stability of the most important thing in their world, the safety of their family. When it is over, your dog does not simply switch back to normal. It takes time for their cortisol to drop, for their nervous system to settle, for the body to stop holding the alert it was carrying. That is why, after arguments, many dogs seek extra contact. More leaning, more closeness, more reassurance. They are not asking for anything dramatic. They are just asking for the confirmation that everything is okay again. Now that you know what your dog is doing, here's what you can do in return. The first thing is simply to notice. When your dog yawns during a tense moment, register it. Let it land. Your dog just told you something important about the energy in the room, something they read before you fully felt it. That information is worth receiving. The second thing is to respond, not by stopping the conversation or pretending the conflict is not real, but by taking one slow breath, by softening your shoulders slightly, by briefly acknowledging your dog's presence with a touch or a word. Your dog has been trying to reach you. A moment of acknowledgement tells them, I received it. I am here. Thank you. The third thing, and this matters, is to come back to your dog after. When the argument is over and the cortisol is still high and everyone is recalibrating, your dog is doing that too. They need the confirmation that safety has been restored. A few quiet minutes on the floor with them, no agenda, no performance, just presence, gives their nervous system what it needs to let go of the alert it has been holding. Your dog tried to help you during the hardest moment in the room. The least you can do is help them after it. A dog who yawns once during a single argument and then returns to normal is a dog doing exactly what they are built to do, reading the situation, responding to it, and moving on when it resolves. But a dog who lives in an environment of frequent conflict, raised voices, ongoing tension, unpredictable emotional climate, is a dog who is working all the time. Every calming signal costs something. Every alert state that does not fully resolve leaves a residue. And over time, that residue accumulates. The signs of chronic stress in dogs are subtle at first. Sleeping more, eating less enthusiastically, startling at sounds that never used to bother them, showing calming signals in situations where the environment seems calm to you, because to them, The baseline of the home no longer feels safe, and their nervous system is running a low-level alert even in the quiet moments. This is not a judgment. Life is complicated and conflict is human and unavoidable. But it is worth knowing that your dog feels it, all of it, and that the quality of the emotional environment in your home is, for them, the quality of their entire world. They cannot leave. They cannot explain. They can only yawn, and turn away, and walk between you, and hope that this time it works, that this time the room gets quieter, that this time everyone stays safe. Does your dog try to break up arguments in your house? Tell me exactly what they do. Walk between people, yawn, whine, put their head on someone's lap. Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Your dog yawned during your argument. You thought they were tired. You thought they were indifferent. You thought it meant nothing. It meant everything. It meant, I feel this room changing, and I am trying to change it back. It meant, the people I love are in pain, and I only have this one small gesture, but I am using it. It meant, please, just breathe. Just come back to each other. Just be okay. Your dog has been your peacemaker. Quietly, without credit, without you even knowing. The next time they yawn in a tense moment, look at them, really look, and let them know their message was finally received. If this changed how you see your dog's behavior during conflict, subscribe to the Dog Mind. Every week we decode something your dog has been doing all along that you never fully understood. Your dog has been speaking this whole time. Subscribe and we will help you hear every word.